A couple of weeks ago, we talked about the fears that we older riders face while traveling by motorcycle. Now, of course, it's not just older guys and gals that deal with thoughts of what if. Now, a little fear is healthy, and as we said in that video, it can help to keep you safe. However, if the fear is overwhelming, then that is when you need to be honest with yourself and either make some changes or maybe hang it up. Along with overcoming the fears associated with motorcycle travel and the open road, riding can also teach us a few things. At least it has for me. Part of the reason I ride, and I think that many of us ride, is to take on a challenge and vanquish the dragon. The mythical beast can take on many forms: a steep and rocky hill, a tight set of corners, carving the perfect line, and for me, taking on an extended journey. Being on the road for 30, 50, or 60 days requires perseverance. All of the individual segments may not be arduous or dangerous, but the day-after-day march from point to point is in itself a sustained challenge to be overcome. Each day is itself a mini obstacle with start and end locations, along with a path that must be trod. If I have done my planning right, that path will also be filled with twists, turns, and beautiful scenery. There are also unforeseen events like rain, wind, heat, cold, poor road conditions, construction, wildfires, closed fuel stations, bad food, and yes, other people getting in my way. Even the daily routines of unpacking, repacking, and filling up with fuel teaches perseverance. Sometimes I think of these tasks in the same way Sisyphus viewed his immense boulder, but it comes with the territory. When you venture out on the highway like a water buffalo swatting flies with their tail, these repetitive actions are the gnats you agree to put up with to gain the rewards. When setting out on a long journey, you also agree to endure absence. Absence of your loved ones and of your daily life. No more great internet and cell service, no more familiar bed, and no more 20-second hugs. You will have to settle for virtual hugs for a while. This sense of absence is one of the major reasons more motorcyclists don't take long trips, and understandably so. Leaving your partner or family can weigh on you, especially if something happens while you are hundreds or thousands of miles away. You have to trust that those you left at home can handle anything that arises. You also might have to be willing to cut your trip short if the circumstances require it. But again, this is something you agree to before rolling that first mile. Taking a long trip requires a certain amount of mental toughness, especially when going it alone. Sure, you can drown out your internal dialogue with road tunes, but at some point, you are going to have to come to grips with the guy in the mirror. Yes, you will meet folks at local gas stations and campgrounds and roadside attractions, but still most of the time will be spent alone. The reality of solo motorcycle travel is that it can be peaceful and contemplative, but it can also be lonely. I often conjure my best daydreams and have my best conversations while on the road alone. I plan my next trip, generate ideas for videos, and talk with God. Do I get answers to my questions? Yeah, I think so, and generally the answer goes something like, "Dude, that shit's on you." Compared to the power of my motorcycle and the forces that created this world, I am nothing. But at the same time, I am part of everything. That is why I ride. Motorcycle travel has taught me acceptance and patience. I accept my weaknesses. I accept my strengths. I accept that I don't know everything, and I remain open to learning. As an older guy, I accept that taking big bites and pushing hard every day is just not the smart thing to do. I am now patient and satisfied with nibbles that allow me to savor the sweetness of each moment. Writing is a purely selfish endeavor. I don't do it to be liked or to fit in with the cool kids or to accomplish things that everyone else says I should. I do it for me. And you know what? That is perfectly okay. Something else I have learned from long stretches of tarmac is that stuff doesn't matter. Yeah, even your bike. I know it costs a lot of money and somehow it is an extension of your character, but the truth is that it's just a thing. If you use it like it is supposed to be used, it is going to accumulate miles, dings, and scratches. With all of those, the monetary value goes down, but the emotional, the experiential value goes up. At some point, the bike will be worth nothing, while the memories become priceless. Stuff is going to break and you are going to lose things. Hell, you might even get hit in the head by some kind of falcon, and it might break your $500 helmet. So what? Buy another one, finish the ride. Traveling alone on the road has taught me to be smart. If I don't feel right about something, then I don't do it. I'm not out there to show off or to get the most exciting shot for my video. I'm riding for the experience and enjoyment, not to take unnecessary risks. I want to keep doing this as long as I can, and making smart choices is going to allow me to do that. Smart choices are not just about how fast you ride or whether or not you choose to climb that one super steep hill. They are also about where you stay, where you park your bike, how long you will push that worn out set of tires, and passing that last gas station because you were sure you could make it. And yeah, been there, done that, and I have the video to prove it. Here is the biggest thing that I've learned from traveling all across this country and Canada. It gets down to what God tells me when we have our conversations. My trips and my life are my responsibility. I can choose to take control or I can choose to fly with the fates. But either way, it is my choice and thus my responsibility. Everything may not be my fault, but it is up to me on how I respond. I'm not trying to pull your chain here. I don't always respond well in every situation. I am human. I screw up. I accept that, and I try to be better the next time. That is the way life works. Forgive yourself and remember that other people are just as error-prone as you. Forgive them too. And of course, keep squeezing your lemon.